Hi, Cory Geiger along with Neil Rudel. This is Thursday down at the Outback Bowl. Really interesting. We were able to speak with a couple of Florida assistant coaches. You talked with defensive coordinator Terrell Austin. He's had kind of an interesting week, has he not?
Yeah, well, he was in the hospital for a day or so because of stomach cramps and whatnot. You know, that he's under some stress because he doesn't know where he's going to be working next year. Urban Meyer, of course, is retiring, and this staff is in limbo. He may end up getting the Texas defensive coordinator job. He said he really hasn't formally talked to Texas, but he's talked to people on the staff. I guess that's kind of the way it works. He's interesting because he grew up in Sharon. He played at Pitt. Yeah, he started his coaching career at Penn State as a graduate assistant, so he has appreciation for Penn State when he was a coach. He said when he was a player at Pitt, he didn't like him a whole lot, but he had a lot of personality. I was impressed with him.
Why was he not hired at Pitt? I would have figured, given his background, he's got a great resume, didn't really even hear his name come up much. He would seem to be a better candidate than Michael Haywood.
I don't know. This is the first year I think that he's a coordinator. And I think a lot of stock in these guys as they try to progress in the coaching ranks depends on that. He coaches the secondary for the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. Both the teams went to the Super Bowl while he was there. Also coached at Wake Forest, Syracuse, and Michigan. So he's developing a nice resume, but this is the first year as a coordinator.
And we'll have a story on that in tomorrow's paper. I talked with Steve Addazio, Florida's offensive coordinator. He, of course, is Temple's new head coach, and that's interesting for the Penn State nation because Temple hired Addazio over Tom Bradley, and I really can't figure out that hire because Addazio's been around a long time. He's got a good resume, but he has no ties to Temple. From what I can see, he has no ties to the state of Pennsylvania. And here you have Tom Bradley, who, to me, would have been a great fit at Temple. But I know you've kind of thought that, did Tom really want that job? So what do you see with them hiring Addazio over Bradley?
Well, I think if you're Temple, you still maybe don't have, an A list. I mean, maybe you're not going to blow people away with your hiring. The clock's ticking on Addazio. It's a chance for him to become a head coach. He must have wanted the job. I just didn't get the sense that Tommy really wanted that job. I think Tom Bradley is a little anxious to either get moving or get his name out there. So that was accomplished. But Addazio, I would think would be pretty qualified as far as being at Florida high level. We'll see. I mean, it's a come down to Temple. You might only have 7,000-8,000 people at your game.
One thing I find interesting, we've talked to a lot of different people, reporters and other people down here. It seems like the Florida media are picking Penn State to win this game. And
some of them bad.
Yeah, exactly. And a good bit of the Penn State media is picking Florida to win this game. So what I read into that is we're close to it. The media for each team kind of thinks that the team they're covering isn't really all that good. The Florida media, they're used to winning national championships down here. They think this team is really terrible.
Yeah, well, you have a combined 10 losses for these programs, and it's the old familiarity does breed content because, I look at Florida, I know Georgia didn't have a great year, but Florida beat Georgia. They almost beat LSU, right?
That's a tough game for me because any team that can play that closely lose by a few points against LSU, because I really think LSU's good.
Yeah, me too. So, you kind of get used to the team you're covering, and obviously nobody was overly impressed with what they saw this year.
Yeah, Penn State just gives up a lot of rushing yards. We'll have our predictions tomorrow. They've already been in the paper, so most people know what they are already. But, really, we're only a couple days away from the game. Are you excited about this game? You've been covering Penn State for a long time. It's an exciting week, but are you really looking forward to kickoff Saturday?
I'm always excited about the game. I think that college football is still special, even though these bowl games don't necessarily mean a whole lot in the grand scheme. Auburn and Oregon mean a lot, but I still think it's a chance. It's a chance to winning and losing in college football, there's such a wide swing of emotions. When you lose, the world's crashing down. And when you win, particularly in a bowl game, we saw this last year, you buy yourself, 3-4 months of goodwill until spring practice starts. Makes everybody feel better. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to the game because I think this is a total wild card bowl game. But again, we're seeing score predictions. Some people picking Florida to win by 15, 20 points. Some people picking Penn State to win by 15, 20 points. I really honestly don't think anybody if you're out there and you think you have a good feel on this game, think again, because I don't know that anybody can really know how these Florida kids are going to respond, how much better Matt McGloin may or may not be. Can Penn State's defense stop anybody? I mean, it's just a total wild card.
Well, the one guy who's been down here a long time in the Florida Today paper picked Penn State to win 35-10, so I got to try to find him, because that means he's giving me Florida in 25. I think I'd take that.
All right, for Neil Rudel, I'm Cory Geiger. We'll be back tomorrow with our score predictions.